So can we clear TEF, TCF, TFEC exam in our first attempt? It's a very genuine question. A lot of students ask this question and I'm going to share my experience as well. What was my thought process behind it, and as a French teacher, what I think about this, okay? My name is Vyom Sharma and I cleared my TEF Canada exam just in 12 months of preparation, and now I share all my tips, tricks and all the resources that I used with you so that you are able to do the same to achieve your Canadian immigration dreams. So today's video is very important. We need to understand, can you really clear TEF Canada exam in first attempt, or do I recommend this to you? If I were be in your shoes, what I would do, or would that really be possible? Okay, so in order to understand that, first we need to understand this, that the exam that we are supposed to give is TEF, TCF, or if you're in Quebec then obviously it's TFEC, but usually TEF, TCF is the one to go for. Now what happens in that exam is that you need to score B2 plus level in reading, listening, speaking and writing, which is also called NCLC 7. Okay, that means, let's understand, there are 6 levels in French: A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. I'm just writing, messy, but that's okay. Over here I have it properly drawn out. A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. In order to clear the exam for Canadian immigration, you need to be at B2 plus level, okay, B2 plus, which please understand, this is not B2, this is B2 plus. What do I mean by this? That means there are two subdivisions between B2 in itself. B2, one is general B2, which is CLB or NCLC 6, which is not eligible for express entry or for French immigration. B2 plus, which is NCLC 7, that is the one which is eligible, once you give your TEF or TCF Canada exam, once you get CLB 7 in reading, listening, speaking, writing, that's when you are eligible to apply under the French proficiency draws and all the other benefits of French exam. But now the main question is, okay, coming back to the main question, can it really be done in first attempt? Or for sure it is possible. See, it's not like it's not possible, but the thing is it really a wise decision to think about clearing the TEF Canada exam in your first attempt? Let's analyze that properly. So, let's take the consideration that you have been preparing and you are, you have this roadmap sorted out, and you started from level 0. Okay, from 0 you went to A1, A2, B1 and B2. Now, obviously, to prepare well for TEF Canada, to clear the TEF Canada exam, because CLB 7 is the requirement, that means you need to be at level B2 plus, which is over here, which is B2. Okay, once you're done with A2, A1, A2, B1, B2, once you have that enough competency, now this is when you jump to exam specific preparation. Obviously, if you guys are studying IELTS, you know that it's not only, you cannot just know English and just attempt the IELTS exam. For sure, you may do well, you may not do well, because you are not familiar with the exam structure. That's why we do IELTS specific preparation. Okay, in the same way, to clear the TEF Canada exam, we do TEF or TCF specific preparation. Okay, and obviously you will also be doing that in this time frame over here. But now, if you have this goal in your mind that you just want to give one attempt only and clear the exam, okay, this is your first attempt and this should be your first and last final attempt. Okay, now see, the thing is, firstly, if you only keep this first as your last attempt, you will tend to drag your training a lot. Okay, let me explain how. You went up until over here, you went up until B2 and then you started your exam specific preparation. See, it's not just like once you go on to B2 level, once you are around that B2, B2 plus level, you are all good for the exam. Okay, you can 100% ace it. Why? Because even if you are doing exam specific preparation, during the actual exam, during the day, firstly, it is very important for us to be more comfortable in the exam specific environment. That is why in the first attempt, if you go into the center, French is a new language. Obviously, you have been training for the whole year, but now, there is this different weird feeling inside of you that even though you know this language, but being in the center itself, that's a weird and that's a stressful feeling. And it happened to me as well during my first attempt, and that's a very real thing. Okay, then that in itself, it kind of derails you, it kind of demotivates you. Okay, that decreases your chances of clearing the attempt in first go. But let's not take that into consideration, because that is not something that we can really analyze. Let's talk about during your first attempt, what are the things that could go wrong even if you are at a really good level. Okay, So let's say you are at B2 plus level, you have been, preparing TEF, TCF exam specific preparation, probably your trainer, or if you're my student, probably me, I have told you that you are at that B2 plus level, and your writing practices, your reading and listening practices are also at B2 plus level, okay? Still, if you go to give your first attempt, which is your final attempt, there is really high possibility that something may just go wrong, okay? Even if you're just at B2 plus level, see, sometimes what happens is, because reading and listening are all MCQs, sometimes you think that you have actually done well in that exam, but like, the luck is not with us always. You may also select one or two wrong options here and there, which may create a lot of difference in your score. Also, speaking, examiner may be biased sometimes. And actually it has happened with my students as well. I have seen one student, like, C1. I knew that that was a C1 level, but during the exam they just gave B2 level. So sometimes there are biases from the examiner as well. So that is why we cannot really think that it's going to be 100% possible, even if you are at B2 plus level, to give it in the first attempt. If you want to still clear it in the first attempt, then what you have to do is you really have to keep on dragging this training until you feel so confident with the language that you are getting C1 level in all 4 modules with your self preparation and training, which wastes a lot of time. Okay, why do you need to be at C1 level, or why do you need to train to be at C1 level for you to just be sure that you will train in the first attempt, you will clear in the first attempt? Instead of that, see, what I recommend is do exam specific preparation for 2 to 3 months, give your first attempt and see what are your strong and weak points in reading, listening and speaking and writing. Okay, $390, $400, that's okay. We'll work 3-4 shifts more and we'll be able to earn it back. Okay, reading, listening, speaking and writing, you see your strong aspects, you see your weak aspects. Now you train accordingly. What were your strengths and what were your weaknesses? For me as well, I did the same thing. In 9 months I gave my first attempt. I knew that speaking was my weak aspect and writing was my strong aspect, so I focused less on writing and focused more on the other aspects. That's what I did, and in my second attempt I actually scored the highest in the speaking. Okay, in the first it was the weakest, but in the second it was the strongest. So this is what I recommend. Okay, keep it more smart, keep the decision more smart. Please do not think that you should be completing in the first attempt. See, you don't fail, you learn. You will be learning from your first attempt, which will even be better which will even increase the chance for you to clear it in the second attempt. So this is my recommendation. And if you want to know in detail what level do we need to have to clear the TEF Canada exam for Canadian immigration, you can check out this video, which will explain you properly. Share it with your friends and subscribe to stay updated on Canadian immigration for French and French for Canadian immigration updates.